Hey there! In this video we're going to talk about the 4 different types of motorhomes you're going to find on the European market. We're going to talk about campervans, fully integrated motorhomes, semi-integrated motorhomes and Alcove motorhomes. So let's start off with the first RV type, which is the campervan. You've probably seen them around, and in Europe right now they are immensely popular and they get even more popular every year. But why would you prefer a smaller campervan over a reasonable sized RV? So with the small campervan you can get almost everywhere. Height restrictions, no issue. The small little roads that you'd usually skip in an RV, with the campervan, you go in there because you know if you can't go any further, you just turn around and go back. With a little bit larger RV, you probably don't want to take this risk too often. Unfortunately, having this smaller RV also means that there's just less storage. Also, when traveling together, you will be in each other's space a little bit more. So walking around, overall storage capacity is just a lot less compared to a motorhome. Personally, I think that a campervan is specifically handy when you want to go into the bigger cities rather often. And also if you really want to get off the beaten track and you want to explore every little road that is around. Otherwise, I think an RV and a campervan will have the same benefits. So I haven't experienced a lot of free camping parking places where campervans could go and RVs couldn't. However, especially in the more touristic areas, height limits, you'll see them a little bit more often. And also some places where they say RVs are not allowed and campervans are. Another thing I hear a lot is about ferry costs. And I think this is true, but then you might want to think, how often will you go on a ferry? And is that reason enough to change your whole motorhome setup? Okay, the second one we're going to talk about is the Alcove motorhome. And the Alcove is recognizable because there's a huge bit of campervan right above the cabin. And 9 out of 10 times this is a very large king-sized bed. Especially family motorhomes usually have an alcove because there's that fixed bed that's always there that you don't have to drop down or set up, and you can easily just live inside of the motorhome without having to make up your bed every day. You'll see them in small, large and all kinds of setups. So the negative sides of an alcove is that they are usually a little bit taller, and also because there's this big bed above the cabin, you usually are a little bit separated from the live area and the rear, which means that when you're driving and your kids are in the back, you're missing that little bit of social interaction between the live area and the cabin. However, in some cases this is rather convenient. Okay, number 3 is the fully integrated motorhome, and I'm in one right now making this podcast, and you can recognize them because the front windshield goes directly over into the roof of the motorhome. Most of the times, but not always, there is a huge drop-down bed that drops down directly above these 2 seats, which means that you can still use the live area, but not all of it, and you have this very convenient bed that you can just make up whenever you have guests. So the drop down bed is definitely the reason why I like fully integrated motorhomes the best. But you can imagine that when it's dropped down, you can't really use a lot of the lift space. Another plus about the fully integrated motorhomes is that when you're driving you have a huge view with this large windshield in front. It's almost like you're driving a bus and there's just a lot of light coming in. However, this also means that you have a little bit less privacy the moment that you don't close the curtains. And when driving, you often feel a little bit large. So it is kind of getting used to, but when you're used to it, you feel no difference between other motorhomes. Last one we're going to talk about is the semi-integrated motorhome. The top above the cabin usually consists of some extra storage, and this is where both of the other RVs meet each other in the middle. Most of the semi-integrated motorhomes are perfect for two persons, and they come in all kinds of sizes and setups. If you still prefer a drop-down bed, you even have a drop-down bed with the semi-integrated motorhome. However, this usually means that you're covering the entire lift space. So it will be coming down in the middle of the motorhome, which is handy if you don't have guests over too often, but you still want to have the possibility. I think the semi-integrated motorhome is the perfect combination of all of the other ones. So there's not really a lot of extra pluses, but also not a lot of extra negative sides to it. Choosing the right motorhome for yourself really depends on your own ideas and wishes. Are you a city person? Do you love the countryside? And figure out the vehicle that fits the best in your idea of traveling Europe. If you want to know how to purchase a vehicle in Europe, I am now writing an ebook which I'm going to sell on www.harroineurope.com, and you can even pre-order it right now. And I'm going to give you all my experience in buying motorhomes in Europe. We're going to talk about the best brands, engines, even how to buy and what to look out for when you're buying one, and everything I know. So thank you very much for watching this video, and if you like my content, make sure that you subscribe and like this video, and if you have any questions, comment below and I'm personally going to answer them. Alright, bye!